the identity of the accused has not been ascertained as yet. Here are all the details as we know them in our next report. Take a look.
On Monday, unknown assailants in a broad daylight killed an intermediate student by stabbing him, who later succumbed to his injuries. The deceased has been identified as 22-year-old Syed Murtaza Anas. He is said to be the nephew of the Division 36 councillor Muhammad Ali Sharif. The gruesome attack was reported from the office of AIMIM Lalitabag Mandal councillor. According to sources, 2 assailants reached the spot and attacked him with blades. They further stated that during the attack, unknown people inflicted several injuries on Murtaza's neck, which caused a lot of bleeding and eventually his demise. Meanwhile, ACP Reddy said that the victim was shifted to OVC hospital, but unfortunately he succumbed to his injuries over there.
Today in the evening, in between 4:30 and 5 o'clock, we came to know that some attack has been took place over one 22 years young boy. Immediately our police rushed to the spot near Umarwadi and found one 22 years boy laying in pool of blood. Immediately they and the neighboring persons shifted him to OVC hospital for treatment. We are investigating the case and we are suspecting 2 persons. As the neighboring persons told that 2 persons have attacked and with a sharp-edged knife and ran away after attacking him. Till now, we did not get any information about the accused persons. We have formed 5 teams to nab the accused persons. As soon as we get any information regarding the accused, we will inform them.
The person is injured, life or death?
The person has expired due to heavy bleeding during the treatment.
According to sources, property dispute is being told as the reason behind the murder, while police has kept the body in a mortuary of Osmania General Hospital for post-mortem. According to DCP South Zone, Sai Chaitanya, who visited the spot and gave instruction to the investigators, said that 2 people have been detained in this case and a case of murder has been registered. Bureau Report, Republic TV.
And Britain's Prime Minister has urged allies to go after Iran's ability to supply weapons to Russia that is killing civilians. Speaking at a summit in Riga, Rishi Sunak, UK Prime Minister, condemned the Tehran regime, which has sent more than 500 kamikaze drones to Russia. They have been used in deadly attacks on Ukraine's people, he said, and energy supply. He also warned that the economic consequences for Russia must continue to be severe, particularly with the new oil price cap set by the G7.
United Kingdom's Prime Minister Rishi Sunak pledges to continue providing aid to Ukraine.
Vladimir and his people have really, I think, inspired us all, and they've demonstrated that thanks to their determination, Putin is realizing that he cannot win on the battlefield, and that means he's now escalating the conflict in a way that is bringing about, quite frankly, appalling consequences for the people of Ukraine. I saw it myself when I visited recently, and I'm sure we'll hear more about it soon.
Sunak urged other northern European allies to also keep up the support for the war-ravaged country.
We must be clear that any unilateral call for a ceasefire by Russia is completely meaningless in the current context. I think it would be a false call. It would be used by Russia to regroup, to reinforce their troops, and until they have withdrawn from conquered territory, there can and should be no real negotiation. But what we can do is think about that time now. Think about what we will do with regard to security assurances, and that is the planning that I think this group can play an important part in.
The British Prime Minister said that another priority of his was to continue to degrade Russia's capability to regroup and to resupply.
I think thirdly and lastly, we must continue to focus on degrading Russia's capability to regroup and to resupply. And that means going after its supply chains and removing the international support. Particularly, I'm thinking of Iran and the weapons that it's currently providing to Russia, which we should be very strong about calling out, as we have done in the United Nations.
He stressed that the economic consequences for Russia over its invasion of Ukraine should continue to be severe.
And also, the economic consequences for Russia must continue to be severe. And in that vein, the new oil price cap that the G7 have instituted and others have followed, I think can be very helpful. In conclusion, I'll just say that I think our collective resolve is clear, and we have and will continue to support Ukraine. And that is first and foremost because their security is our security.
Rishi Sunak made all these comments and pledges during the Joint Expeditionary Force in Riga, Latvia on Monday, after Ukraine President urged the European leaders to increase the military aid. The Joint Expeditionary Force brings together troops from 10 countries, including the Baltic and the Nordic nations, and has seen its importance increase since Russia's invasion of Ukraine in February. Agency report, Republic TV.
And time for another very short break. On the other side, in news that we will be following throughout the day, Smriti Irani hits back at Vadra Congress, dares Rahul Gandhi to contest in Amethi and not run to other seats. Also, Kharge attacks and insults Prime Minister Modi as opposition continues its politics over Tawang in Parliament.
Right now I am standing in one of the eviction sites at Santigram Bazaar, and you can see they have evicted the illegal establishments which were built here. They have also evicted 72 houses were there. Within 8 hours, over 1,000 bighas of land have been made encroachment free by the administration of Nagaon district.
Protests are happening in Belgaum. NCP leaders tried to enter Belgavi in Karnataka, and those leaders have been detained.
मैं पटना के एम्स दिखा फ्लाईओवर पर हूँ। दारू की भट्टी है, 2 लोग हैं। कैसे दारू की भट्टी खुलेआम इस खेत में चल रही है और डब्बे जो है हटाए जा रहे हैं।
जो रिबिका की हत्या हुई है, 18 टुकड़े जो रिबिका के मिले हैं, उसके बाद ये तमाम लोग अपनी नाराजगी जाहिर कर रहे हैं।
स्मृति ईरानी केवल आती हैं, लटके झटके देकर चली जाती हैं। वो निश्चित तौर से गांधी परिवार की सीट है और रहेगी।
Top headlines this morning: Smriti Irani hits back at Vadra Congress, dares Rahul Gandhi to contest in Amethi and not run to other seats. BJP to hold parliamentary party meet at 9:30 am today. Strategy for the remaining winter session on the agenda.
चाइना जो अतिक्रमण कर रहा है उसके बारे में चर्चा करने के लिए पूछे तो चर्चा को उन्होंने अवकाश नहीं दिया। उन्होंने कहा चर्चा की आवश्यकता नहीं है।
Mallikarjun Kharge attacks and insults Prime Minister Modi as opposition continues politics over Tawang in the parliament. NI charge sheet says radicals linked to Tablighi Jamaat killed Amravati pharmacist Kole to avenge alleged dishonor of Prophet. After Meghalaya infighting intensifies in Telangana Congress, 13 members quit posts. Thanks for tuning in this Tuesday morning. You're watching This Morning, and I'm Samiksha Srivastava. We have a lot lined up for you in this edition of our broadcast, straight up starting with breaking news coming in. And that's a big boost coming in for the defense sector along the LAC as the officials are ramping up construction work along the LAC in Arunachal Pradesh. The Border Roads Organization is engaged in major infrastructural development work along the bordering areas, and the government has even planned to connect all bordering villages of Arunachal Pradesh with good connectivity roads. Now, apart from the road connectivity, the BRO, which is the Border Roads Organization, is engaging in construction works of two important tunnels in Arunachal Pradesh, Tawang sector. Now, Tawang sector, of course, the sector where the clashes broke out between the Chinese PLA and the Indian troops, in which the Indian troops thwarted that transgression attempt that was made by the Chinese PLA. We have a reaction coming in from one of those chief engineers who's involved in the construction work along the LAC in Arunachal Pradesh.
As you are aware, Border Roads Organization, the Seema Sadak Sangathan, is developing and maintaining all the road networks in important areas of the border areas. And we are part of Project Vartak, and we are looking after the western Assam and the western Arunachal Pradesh areas. And we have very important National Highway double lane roads, National Highway single lane roads, as well as other types of roads. And our aim is to connect each and every village in the far-flung areas also of the West Kameng and the Tawang districts. And we want to actively contribute to the socio-economic development of this area.
So reactions coming in this after the construction work is being ramped up along the LAC in Arunachal Pradesh. Those are the visuals there on your screens where the infrastructural development work has been ramped up in the border areas along the LAC in Arunachal Pradesh. While every Indian is proud of our Jawans who pushed back the Chinese PLA along the LAC in Arunachal Pradesh, the opposition continues to do politics over national security, collectively politicizing the Tawang face-off and even obstructing the functioning of the parliament over the issue.
Days after our brave soldiers gave it back to the Chinese at LAC, opposition still continues to question the army. Despite Defence Minister's clear message on Tawang,
चाइना के इस प्रयास का हमारी सेना ने दृढ़ता के साथ सामना किया है अध्यक्ष महोदय, और इस फेस ऑफ में हाथापाई भी हुई है। भारतीय सेना ने बहादुरी से पीएलए को हमारी टेरिटरी में अतिक्रमण करने से रोका और उन्हें उनकी पोस्ट पर वापस जाने के लिए मजबूर कर दिया अध्यक्ष महोदय।
opposition is still questioning the government on Tawang.
सरकार को इस विषय पे बयान देना चाहिए, क्योंकि ये तो कोई नए मामला नहीं है, लगातार हो रहे हैं, अतिक्रमण हो रहे हैं, हमारे ज़मीन को कब्जा किए रखे हैं चाइना, और लद्दाख से उत्तराखंड से लेकर अभी पहुंच गए अरुणाचल। तो इस सारे मुद्दे को देखते हुए सारे हिंदुस्तान की आज की जो हालत एक खतरे में है, ये तो चाइना की तरफ से खतरे में डालने का हर संभव कोशिश किए जा रहे हैं। चाइना की ये साजिश को नाकाम करने के लिए सरकार की क्या रवैया है, रूप क्या है, सरकार क्या इंतजाम कर रही है, हमें जानने को अधिकार है।
डोकलाम हुआ, गलवान हुआ, अब तवांग, और बीजेपी के एक सांसद ने लोकसभा में ये बात कही है कि चीन घुसपैठ कर रहा है। बावजूद इसके आप चर्चा से भागते हैं, क्यों? क्योंकि आपने 12 लाख करोड़ रुपए का व्यापार 2 साल में दिया है चीन को। ये सच पूरे देश को जानना चाहिए। जो चीन हमारा दुश्मन देश है, हमारे देश के अंदर घुसपैठ कर रहा है, उसको आप तोप खरीदने के लिए, मिसाइल खरीदने के लिए, हथियार खरीदने के लिए व्यापार दे रहे हो।
And they have gone to the extent of attacking Prime Minister.
रिक्वेस्टिंग आपको रेसिड्यूरी पावर्स है, इसको सस्पेंड करिए रूल्स को, और चाइना ये बहुत बड़ा महत्व का विषय है। और प्लीज नो आज वो वहाँ पर अतिक्रमण कर रहे हैं, लोगों को हमारी जगह वो अतिक्रमण करके वहाँ पर पुल बनाए जा रहे हैं। घर बनाए जा रहे हैं, तोखाने, कारखाने सब बना रहे हैं। तो इसीलिए ये महत्व का मुद्दा है। अगर ये चर्चा नहीं करेंगे, इसको अगर रूल्स अगर निकाल सस्पेंड करके चर्चा को अगर अवकाश देंगे, फिर किसको देंगे?
Not just the Prime Minister, they insulted the army too.
जो हमारे जवानों को अरुणाचल प्रदेश में पीट रहे हैं, उन्होंने उनका पूरा प्रिपरेशन चल रहा है। उनका लद्दाख की साइड और अरुणाचल की साइड पूरा ऑफेंसिव प्रिपरेशन चल रहा है।
And Rahul Gandhi was rightfully corrected.
I think we should not directly or indirectly criticize our jawans. When our jawans, sir, are standing, sir, our jawans are standing, sir, in Yangtze, in Yangtze at 13,000 feet. At 13,000 feet, they are standing there defending our borders. They do not deserve to have the word pitai. The word pitai should not be used for our jawans, sir.
But opposition continues to play politics on national security and disrupt the parliament over it. Government continues to bring a consensus and in fact appeal to discuss the sensitive matters.
From the opposition parties, their frustration has reached a level that they do not believe in any rules or regulations in the functioning of parliament, and they are even denying the rulings and observations of the chair. In fact, the chair made very rational comments, very logical rulings, but unfortunately the opposition is behaving obstructionist and destructive.
But will the opposition prioritize the nation first? Bureau Report, Republic TV.
All right, news coming in from Telangana's Saroonagar, where you can see the students there of Government Junior College were seen staging protests demanding the Education Minister and the government to provide the most basic of facility, the toilet facility in the college. Aneri joining us for more on that. Aneri, if you could give us more details to begin with, what is the situation like in this particular college where people are, in fact, beg your pardon, the students are seen protesting for the most basic of facility, which is toilet in this government college?
Well, that's right, Anisha. Yesterday on Monday, we had seen that the students of the Government Junior College in Arunachal area of Telangana, where we had seen that these students who have been repeatedly demanding that that college authority should provide them the basic facilities, that is a toilet, because there are many students who are studying there, but there's no proper facility for a toilet, and so they yesterday had staged protest against the government and against the college management, demanding that there should be a proper facility which should for toilets, because there are many girl students and also boys who have been studying in that college, but there is no proper facility for a toilet, and so they have been asking the education minister to also visit the college once and look at the facilities. They do not have proper facilities, and they also have were seen raising slogans of "We want justice." These students have now been saying that their demands should be fulfilled, or else they will continue to stage protest. But now we also have been seeing that how the college management was trying to talk to them, trying to negotiate with them, but then these students were saying that we will continue to agitate and we will continue to protest until they do not get a proper facility like a toilet.
Yes. Aneri, just stay with us, and also if you could tell us more about the state of affairs in other government colleges as well, because, you know, as per the Right to Education 2009, each college and all these government colleges ought to have separate toilets for the girls and boys.
That's right, Samantha. We have been saying that this is one such incident that has come to light where the students have now come out in open staging protest that the government and the education department especially should provide them with at least basic facility, because toilet is a very basic facility which needs to be provided, but where you can see where we have access to the visuals also where you can see that there's no proper facility of a toilet also in a government college. But when we talk about other government colleges and schools where a few of the government colleges do have these facilities, but we also see now this incident which is coming to light from government junior college in Arunachal, where students have now started staging protests demanding the authorities and the management to provide them with basic facilities.
Absolutely. Aniri, thank you for the moment. So it remains to be seen if the government jumps into action as far as this government college is concerned, where the students are seen running pillar to post for the most basic of facility, which is toilet. Now, in news coming in from UP, where protests were seen at the Allahabad University over fee hike, which even turned violent with reports of arson and vandalism coming in from in and around the arts campus of the Allahabad University.
Violent protest erupted on Monday in Prayagraj. This comes after a violent protest broke out on the Allahabad University campus over a fee hike. Arsons and vandalism came in from the arts campus. Bikes were lit on fire. Cars were damaged. Stones were pelted. This comes after former student leader Vivekananda Pathak was reported to have been manhandled by the university's security guards. According to sources, Vivekananda Pathak was stopped by the guards as he was trying to enter the university. Notably, the student leader approached for a physical fight with the guards, which escalated the protest and turned it into a violent one.
मिस्टर पाठक हैं जो कि पूर्व छात्र हैं, इनके द्वारा ये बताया गया है कि ये बैंक में किसी कार्य से आए थे और उसके दौरान इनकी कुछ गार्डों से कुछ कहा सुनी हुई। जब प्रथम दृष्टया सूचना मिली थी तो सभी अधिकारियों के द्वारा मौके पर आके स्थिति को तत्काल नियंत्रित किया गया है। इनकी तहरीर जो है इसके ऊपर मुकदमा पंजीकृत करने की कार्रवाई, मेडिकल कराने की कार्रवाई जारी है। इसमें जो भी वीडियो फुटेजेस और अन्य इलेक्ट्रॉनिक साक्ष्य हमें प्राप्त होंगे उसके अनुसार आगे की कार्रवाई संपादित की जाएगी।
According to reports, several students and policemen were injured in the clash. Some students have been protesting for the past several months over the fee hike in the university. Meanwhile, in a statement, the university's administration claimed that unknown elements broke open the locks of the university gates and that led to the violence between them and the guards. Bureau Report, Republic TV.
Now, in news from Jharkhand, where another case similar to that of Shraddha murder case has been reported from Jharkhand, where a tribal woman who eloped and married a man belonging to another community was found killed and chopped into pieces by her husband.
On 17 December 2022, a Jharkhand woman gets brutally killed by her own husband. The police has identified the man accused as Dildar Ansari. So far, 8 arrests have been made, which also includes Dildar's family. According to sources, the accused admitted to the police that he plotted to kill his wife in connivance with his family due to the constant pressure from them and the continuous fight between him and the victim.
आपसी फैमिली विवाद चल रहा था। इसी फैमिली विवाद के चलते इन लोगों ने एक साजिश के तहत उसकी हत्या कर दी और लाश को टुकड़े टुकड़े करके आंगनवाड़ी से जो इसके थाना से 500 मीटर की दूरी पे है वहाँ पर फेंक दिया।
Dildar further confessed in killing his wife and later chopped her body into pieces using an electric cutter. He later stored it inside black waste bags inside his residence. When the locals caught dogs feasting on the body parts, they immediately alerted the police. According to police officials, they have located at least 18 pieces of the body, while a search probe is underway to find the remaining. The incident, meanwhile, sparked a war of words between leaders of the opposition BJP and the ruling JMM-led Combined on Monday. Senior BJP leader puts blame on the Hemant Soren-headed government.
देखिए, सच्चाई यह है कि मैंने तो पहले भी विधानसभा के माध्यम से सरकार को सचेत किया था कि उस इलाके में लगातार बांग्लादेशी घुसपैठियों के द्वारा लगातार उनका कारण जनसंख्या बदल रही है, वहां इस प्रकार के पाशविक क्रूरता की घटनाएं बढ़ रही है। और अभी जो दिलदार अंसारी ने एक आदिम जनजाति की बेटी को जिस प्रकार से एक क्रूरतम घटना किया है, एक विभत्स घटना को अंजाम दिया है, निश्चित रूप से यह झारखंड के लिए चिंता का जनक है और पूरे राज्य में इसका असर आने वाला समय में इसका असर पूरे राज्य में देखा जाएगा।
To which Chief Minister Hemant Soren said,
साहब की घटना क्यों? क्या दिल्ली में घटना नहीं घटा? क्या मध्य प्रदेश में घटना नहीं घटा? क्या यूपी में घटना नहीं घटते? कहाँ नहीं घटते? और निश्चित रूप से मुझे लगता है इस ऐसे आज के दिन में जो समाज में विकृतियां फैल रही हैं, ये हर समाज के लिए चिंता का विषय है।
Notably, BJP also urges the accused should be hanged.
आज हमारी बेटी, इस राज्य की बेटी किस तरह से मौत की ओर धकेल रहे हैं। जघन्य उसे उसके साथ अपराध किया जा रहा है और उसे हत्या कर दिया जा रहा है, लेकिन इसके बावजूद भी ये सरकार की आंख नहीं खुल रही है, कान से सुनाई नहीं पड़ रहा, मुंह से कुछ बोल नहीं रहे हैं और लगातार इसका बढ़ोतरी हो रहा है। इसका हम लोग विरोध में आज यहाँ धरना प्रदर्शन कर रहे हैं।
Meanwhile, the deceased elder sister said that she feels threatened and suspects that the accused family would also try to kill the rest of her family too. The deceased family also demands capital punishment for the alleged accused. Bureau Report, Republic TV.
A very short break. Lots coming up on the other side. BJP to hold parliamentary party meet at 9:30 a.m. today. Strategy for the remaining winter session on the agenda. And Kharge attacks and insults Prime Minister Modi as opposition continues politics over Tawang in Parliament.
Powered by Amity University, ranked amongst the top 3% universities globally.
कुछ पैसे बोरो करने थे।
लोन चाहिए तो पैसाबाजार.com पर जाइए। पैसाबाजार.com, लोन सही मिलेगा यहीं।
चाइनीज, इंडियन, इटालियन, ऑलराउंडर हम भी हैं।
और तुम्हारा किचन?
किचन
इस पे भी कभी बाउंसर आता है, कभी गूगली तो कभी यॉर्कर।
मतलब?
कभी स्टेन्स, कभी जर्म्स तो कभी पानी। आपके किचन और बाथरूम्स को चाहिए MYK लेटीक्रीट SP100, टाइल जॉइंट का ऑलराउंडर। MYK लेटीक्रीट SP100, जोड़ हो तो ऐसा।
Life will test you. It will turn your world upside down. Again and again and again. The only way to hit back is to stand up. Stand up every time and say, I'm not done.
India welcomes those who further India's pride across the globe. Indian diaspora, partners of New India's growth journey in Amritkal. Come and be a part of the 17th Pravasi Bharati Divas from 8th to 10th January 2023 at Indore, Madhya Pradesh, India. For registration, log on to pbdindia.gov.in.
Helps beat sensitivity fast. Sensodyne Rapid Relief.
Guys, just 1 second. Choosing a car for my mom.
What? Online car shopping? Wow, that's so cool, yeah.
Shahrukh ne bataya.
Wait up. Booking a car service.
From here?
क्यों?
तुझे शाहरुख ने नहीं बताया?
इसने पूछा ही नहीं. There's so much more जो शाहरुख ने नहीं बताया. It's all on the industry first My Hyundai app. Open a world of possibility with My Hyundai app. One app, many worlds.
Just yesterday, Munmun handed a phone to a random person to get her DP clicked. For the 5th time this year. And her phone got stolen again. But Munmun's over the moon. Because JioMart's grand finale sale is offering up to 80% off on everything. So no matter how your year's been, the ending will be smashing.
Now, Gandhi signed Rahul Gandhi has sparked the language debate once again amid Prime Minister Modi's big push to get rid of colonial baggage. Congress leader Rahul Gandhi said that Hindi will not work if you want to speak with Americans. He also targeted the BJP and claimed that he do not want English to be taught in schools.
Descending in Rajasthan as part of his walkathon, Rahul Gandhi made this statement about the Hindi language.
ये नहीं चाहते हैं कि हिंदुस्तान का गरीब, किसान का बेटा, मजदूर का बेटा अंग्रेजी सीखे. इसका कारण है क्योंकि वो चाहते हैं कि आप बड़े सपने ना देखो, मगर अगर आप बाकी दुनिया से बात करना चाहते हो तो वहां हिंदी काम नहीं आएगी, वहां अंग्रेजी ही काम आएगी.
This colonial mindset is in completely disconnect with a new India.
कभी कभी तो हमारी टैलेंट भाषा के बंधनों में बन जाती है. हमें हमारे देश की हर भाषा पे गर्व होना चाहिए.
India is confidently going to the world and speaking our language. Whether it is Hindi with world leaders or Tamil at the United Nations.
आज से 3000 वर्ष पूर्व भारत के महान कवि तमिल में कहा था, यादम उरे यावरुम केडीर, यानी हम सभी स्थानों के लिए अपनेपन का भाव रखते हैं और सभी लोग हमारे अपने हैं.
But Rahul Gandhi, it seems, is using language to divide.
Our culture, our language, Kannada, is under attack. I have come here to give a message to those people who think they can push aside Tamil language.
It's time for a reality check.
Now, following the submission of the interim report on illegal encroachments to the Assam Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sarma, the eviction drive to clear the encroached area in Assam's Nagaon district was launched on Monday amidst tight security. The drive, which is with over 600 security personnel, were deployed. It began early morning and was successfully completed by evening. Here's a detailed report.
Few weeks back, we exposed a stinging reality that was brushed under the carpet by other media networks. The story of Assam, which faced massive encroachment menace, reports mentioned that around 7,504 bighas of lands belonging to 303 satraps of the state are under encroachment. Today, it is Republic Impact that the Assam government walked the talk and launched a massive eviction drive in Nagaon.
Many of them had already vacated the encroached land. However, there were 72 such structures which were not vacated, and today the demolition of such structures continue as this eviction drives is underway.
The opposition, however, does not seem quite happy with this fact and has politicized the anti-encroachment drive. But what is it that is actually bothering the opposition?
That's all we have for you in this edition of our broadcast. Do not go anywhere. World This Morning coming up on the other side of this very short break. Several drones hit Ukraine's capital city Kiev. Zelensky appeals for more military assistance. Amid escalation in Ukraine war, Russian troops to hold drills in Ukraine's neighbor Belarus.
Powered by Amity University, ranked amongst the top 3% universities globally.
Amity has been ranked amongst the top 3% universities globally, a testimony to Amity's globally benchmarked quality.
सोच रहा हूँ कमेंट्री ट्राई करूँ। मैच का आखिरी बॉल, तेज तूफानी डिलीवरी, एक धमाकेदार शॉट और ये गया छक्का।
छक्का नहीं, टूटा। आपके टाइल्स को चाहिए MY के लेटिक्रीट टाइल एडेसिव। फॉर्मूला ऐसा कि अब टाइल न टूटेगा न छूटेगा।
Your favorite service provider, Den, which gets you the best of entertainment, is back with something very special.
अभी मजा आएगा ना भिड़ो।
Your 3 favorite movie channels are bringing in super blockbuster films with features like wider picture and crystal clear sound straight to your home.
Wow. Oh, I love that expression.
To subscribe to your favorite channels, contact your local cable TV operator today or call Den toll-free number 1-800-419-2020 now.
Volkswagen Tygoon, India's safest SUVW. Volkswagen.
झांके रे झांके झरोके से झांके देख के दम है छोटे बड़े सारे झांके रे झांके फ्यूचर को ये ताके तरक्की को टुक टुक हर कोई ताके झांके रे झांके
Reimagineering brighter futures with smarter steels. ArcelorMittal, Nippon Steel India. Smarter steels, brighter futures.
Why did life test me? Why did it try to crush me, shake me, break me? Why me? Because it knew if I could take this test, I could take anything and say, that was easy.
The headlines from across the globe this morning: multiple drone attack on Ukraine's Kyiv. Reportedly 23 Iranian-made drones detected in Kyiv. Amid escalation in Ukraine war, Russian troops to hold drills in Ukraine's neighbor, Belarus. Several drones hit Ukraine capital Kyiv. Zelensky appeals for more military assistance. UK Prime Minister Rishi Sunak calls for support for war-torn Ukraine, pledges to supply drones to Russia. Thailand warship capsizes in the Gulf of Thailand with over 100 sailors. 31 sailors still missing. Hello and welcome. You're watching World This Morning on Republic TV. I'm Rukma with you. And from all the news that's coming in from Ukraine to the capsizing of a Thai warship, we bring you all the details in this edition of World This Morning here on Republic. So stay with us. Let's begin with our top story. Ukraine's capital was targeted by multiple drones in a new attack early on Monday. Local authorities reported 3 days after what they have described as one of Russia's biggest attacks on Kyiv since the beginning of the war.
Another day, another strike. On Monday, Ukraine's capital, Kyiv, was attacked by several drones. This comes out as the biggest attack post-Russia-Ukraine war. According to sources, more than 23 Iranian-made drones were detected over the capital's airspace, and at least 18 of them were shot down. Kyiv's region governor, Oleksiy Kuleba, further informed that the attack has caused damages to the infrastructure facilities, which also includes private homes. He further mentioned that two civilians also suffered injuries.
Приезжали ці скора помощь. Скоро подзвонили і вони приїхали.
Я відчуваю те, що всі люди відчувають, тому що я знаю, що я не одна. Це якби оце таке случилося, я одна. А як всі люди так страдають, всі люди. Ну що ж я буду, рятуйте, кричати. Кричи, хоч і лопни, як усей мир і вся наша Україна.
Remember, Russia had been targeting energy infrastructure, including in Kyiv, as part of the strategy to try to freeze Ukrainians. Earlier on Friday, Ukraine's capital was attacked as a part of a massive strike from Russia. Dozens of missiles were launched across the country, triggering widespread power outages. Agency report, Republic TV.
After multiple drone attacks on the Ukraine capital Kyiv, Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky urged the European leaders to increase military aid to his country. Here's more.
Yet again, Ukraine's president urged the European leaders to increase its military aid. His request comes up in the meeting of the Joint Expeditionary Force in Riga, Latvia on Monday.
Я прошу вас збільшити можливість постачання систем ППО нашій державі, допомогти пришвидшити відповідні рішення партнерів. 100% повітряний щит для України – це буде один з найбільш успішних кроків проти російської агресії. Цей крок потрібен саме зараз.
He also spoke about the drone attack that struck again in Kyiv's capital, Ukraine, in the early hours of Monday.
Цієї ночі Україна була знову атакована іранськими дронами. 34 шахеди. Я говорю і кількість, і назву, і цілком конкретно. Це шахеди з нової партії, яку отримала Росія від Ірану. 250 штук. Стільки усього шахедів зараз отримано державою-терористом. Російські.
Zelensky urged the leaders of the states to increase the delivery of the military equipment.
На День Святого Миколая за східним обрядом російські терористи подарували українським дітям нові удари. Я ж прошу вас підтримати нашу країну саме зараз чітким рішенням надати усе те, що може не тільки зберігати наявну динаміку на полі бою в Україні, але й
The UK-led force is a group of 10 nations designed to react more quickly in the event of threats like those now posed by Russia. On the agenda of the one-day meeting in Ukraine and the consequent changes in the security climate in Europe's northern region and cooperation between JEF members in providing further assistance for Ukraine. Agency report, Republic TV.
And Britain's Prime Minister Rishi Sunak has urged allies to go after Iran's ability to supply weapons to Russia that he said are killing civilians. Speaking at a summit in Riga, Sunak condemned the Tehran regime, which he said has sent more than 500 kamikaze drones to Russia. And according to him, they have been used in deadly attacks on Ukraine's people and energy supply. Sunak also warned that the economic consequences for Russia must continue to be severe, particularly with the new oil price cap set by the G7.
United Kingdom's Prime Minister Rishi Sunak pledges to continue providing aid to Ukraine.
Vladimir and his people have really, I think, inspired us all, and they've demonstrated that thanks to their determination, Putin is realizing that he cannot win on the battlefield, and that means he's now escalating the conflict in a way that is bringing about, quite frankly, appalling consequences for the people of Ukraine. I saw it myself when I visited recently, and I'm sure we'll hear more about it soon.
Sunak urged other northern European allies to also keep up the support for the war-ravaged country.
We must be clear that any unilateral call for a ceasefire by Russia is completely meaningless in the current context. I think it would be a false call. It would be used by Russia to regroup, to reinforce their troops, and until they have withdrawn from conquered territory, there can and should be
to regroup and to resupply.
I think thirdly and lastly, we must continue to focus on degrading Russia's capability to regroup and to resupply. And that means going after its supply chains and removing the international support. Particularly, I'm thinking of Iran and the weapons that it's currently providing to Russia, which we should be very strong about calling out, as we have done in the United Nations.
He stressed that the economic consequences for Russia over its invasion of Ukraine should continue to be severe.
But also, the economic consequences for Russia must continue to be severe, and in that vein, the new oil price cap that the G7 have instituted and others have followed, I think can be very helpful. In conclusion, I'll just say that I think our collective resolve is clear, and we have and will continue to support Ukraine, and that is first and foremost because their security is our security.
Rishi Sunak made all these comments and pledges during the Joint Expeditionary Force in Riga, Latvia on Monday, after Ukraine President urged the European leaders to increase the military aid. The Joint Expeditionary Force brings together troops from 10 countries, including the Baltic and the Nordic nations, and has seen its importance increase since Russia's invasion of Ukraine in February. Agency report, Republic TV.
And Russian troops, we hear, will be conducting military exercises in Belarus, which neighbors Ukraine. The Interfax news agency said on Monday, citing the Defense Ministry in Moscow. Here are all the details.
The Russian Defense Ministry begins with their training drills. According to the footage shared by the Russian ministry, the drills were started from Belarus on Monday. This comes as Russian President Vladimir Putin gears itself to visit Minsk. Putin has to travel to Belarus for talks with the authoritarian leader Alexander Lukashenko. Ministry further stated that the Russian servicemen who arrived in Belarus as a part of the regional grouping of troops continued their course of intensive combat training. Notably, the Belarusian president allowed Russian forces to use Belarusian territory when Russia launched its special military operation in Ukraine and has close defense links with Moscow. Meanwhile, Ukraine claims that Russia had attacked with several drones at Kyiv's capital, Ukraine, earlier on Monday. Agency report, Republic TV.
Federal Chancellor Olaf Scholz attended the Hanukkah celebrations at the Heinz Galinsky School in Berlin on Monday. He was received, among others, by students and the chairman of the Central Council of Jews in Germany, Josef Schuster. Here's more.
Berlin celebrates Hanukkah on Monday. And on the eve of the Hanukkah celebration, German Chancellor Olaf Scholz met with Jewish children in Berlin on Monday to celebrate the Jewish holiday of Hanukkah, also known as the Festival of Lights.
Und es gibt noch einen Grund, warum das Lichterfest hier an eurer Schule so wunderbar ist. Es zeigt, dass wir heute in Deutschland wieder ein blühendes jüdisches Leben feiern. Das ist ein großes Wunder und ein Geschenk, wenn man bedenkt, wie unvorstellbar großes Leid Deutsche über das jüdische Volk gebracht haben.
Scholz also said that he was thankful for the support the Jewish community was giving to Ukrainian refugees.
In diesem Jahr sind zudem viele jüdische Familien zu uns gekommen, die vor dem schrecklichen Krieg in der Ukraine fliehen und bei uns Schutz suchen mussten. Die jüdische Gemeinschaft hat sie dabei sehr unterstützt, auch hier gerade in Berlin.
The 8-day Jewish festival began this year on December 18 and will last until December 26. Around 40 Hanukkah candles are distributed in the Berlin city area alone, including in front of the Berlin House of Representatives. The candelabrum at the Brandenburg Gate is one of the largest in Europe. Agency report, Republic TV.
And in other international news, Thai Navy ships and helicopters were searching for more than 24 sailors still missing more than 12 hours after a warship sank in rough seas overnight in the Gulf of Thailand. 75 sailors have been rescued, 31 were still in the water, the Navy said. British Prime Minister Rishi Sunak has pledged to continue support to Ukraine at a meeting of the Joint Expeditionary Force in Latvia on Monday. Sunak urged other Northern European allies to also keep up their support of the war-ravaged country, stressing their security is our security.
Vladimir and his people have really, I think, inspired us all, and they've demonstrated that thanks to their determination, Putin is realizing that he cannot win on the battlefield, and that means he's now escalating the conflict in a way that is bringing about, quite frankly, appalling consequences for the people of Ukraine. I saw it myself when I visited recently, and I'm sure we'll hear more about it.
And footage of drills on training grounds in Belarus have emerged as Russian President Vladimir Putin prepares to visit Minsk. Russian servicemen who arrived in Belarus as part of the regional grouping of troops continue the course of intensive combat training, the ministry said in a statement. Ukraine's capital was targeted by multiple drones in an attack early on Monday, authorities reported 3 days after what they described as one of Russia's biggest assaults on Kyiv since the beginning of the war. The Kyiv City Military Administration said on its Telegram account that more than 23 Iranian-made drones were detected over the capital's airspace, and at least 18 of them were shot down. Vessels of the Russian Pacific Fleet have left their base for joint Russian-Chinese naval exercises, according to footage provided by the Russian Defense Ministry. The exercises are due to be held from December 21st through to 27th in the East China Sea, the Russian military reported on Monday. China reported its first COVID-related deaths in weeks on Monday amid rising doubts over whether the official count was capturing the full toll of a disease that is ripping through cities after the government relaxed strict antivirus controls. Monday's 2 deaths were the first to be reported by the National Health Commission since December 3rd. China's foreign ministry on Monday confirmed Australian Foreign Minister Penny Wong's 2-day visit to the country starting from tomorrow. Ministry spokesperson Mao Ning told reporters at a daily news briefing that the Australian Foreign Minister would meet with China's Foreign Minister Wang Yi for talks and jointly hold the new round of Australia-China foreign and strategic dialogue. Black ice and freezing rain caused disruption in parts of Germany as a lengthy freeze gave way to milder and wetter weather, with trains traveling at reduced speed, cancellations at the country's busiest airport, and a spate of traffic accidents. Severe turbulence rocked a flight from Phoenix to Honolulu on Sunday, seriously injuring 11 people in what a Hawaiian Airlines official called an isolated and unusual event. John Snoke, the airline's chief operating officer, said the flight was full, carrying 278 passengers and 10 crew members. Twitter users voted in a poll for Elon Musk to step down as chief executive of the social media platform in a backlash against the billionaire less than 2 months after he took over. Nearly 57% votes were for yes, while 42% were against the idea of Musk stepping down as the head of Twitter. Coming up next on World This Morning, Thailand warship capsizes in the Gulf of Thailand with over 100 sailors. 31 sailors still missing.
Amity has been ranked amongst the top 3% universities globally, a testimony to Amity's globally benchmarked quality.
एक दिन मैं सोते सोते गिर गया और मुझे कुछ नहीं हुआ। पता है किसने किया? घोस्ट ने। वो हर बार मुझे बचा लेता है। मिलोगे?
अरे कोई घोस्ट नहीं, रोनी के पापा ही हैं जो उसे सेफ रखते हैं, जैसे हैवेल्स लाइफ शील्ड वायर्स जो दिखते नहीं पर घर को सेफ रखते हैं, ना आग पकड़े ना जहरीली गैस छोड़े, वायर्स दैट डोंट कैच फायर।
बैंगन भरते का सारा सामान ऑर्डर कर दिया, बैंगन ही ऑर्डर करना भूल गया।
बैंगन भी ऑर्डर कर दूं?
सिर्फ एक बैंगन देने कौन आएगा?
जियो मार्ट सिर्फ एक आइटम भी फ्री डिलीवर करता है।
छोटा या बहुत छोटा, जियो मार्ट करता है हर ऑर्डर फ्री होम डिलीवर। जियो मार्ट, हर घर का मार्ट।
क्या हुआ रोहन, क्या सोच रहा है?
रिया पहली सैलरी मिली है, तुम भी कुछ आइडिया दो, एक्सपेंसेस को कैसे प्लान किया जाए।
रोहन, एक्सपेंसेस के साथ साथ इन्वेस्टमेंट प्लान करना भी जरूरी है।
देखो, सैलरी का कुछ हिस्सा घर के रेगुलर खर्चे के लिए और कुछ मैं अपने लिए भी तो सोच सकता हूँ ना, लेकिन इन्वेस्ट कहाँ करूँ?
सिंपल है, एनपीएस में।
एनपीएस में? रिया अभी तो मैंने कमाना शुरू किया है, इतना आगे के लिए अभी से क्यों पैसे जोड़ूं?
वो देखो, एक एक करके ईंट जोड़ी जाती है, तब जाके एक घर तैयार होता है। वैसे ही अभी से पैसे जोड़कर हम भी अपना रिटायरमेंट सुखी बना सकते हैं।
बात में तो दम है।
एनपीएस कम लागत वाली फ्लेक्सिबल लॉन्ग टर्म योजना है, जिससे आपकी बचत ग्रो होकर पेंशन का लाभ देती है।
अच्छा, फिर तो मैं अभी अपना एनपीएस अकाउंट ओपन करता हूँ।
जो कल की सोचते हैं वो आज से ही थोड़ा थोड़ा जोड़ते हैं।
पेंशन है तो टेंशन नहीं। एनपीएस में निवेश बाजार जोखिमों के अधीन है।
Everyone looks at the world today. At Hyundai, we go beyond with experiences that take us forward. Inspired by our today, we design your tomorrow. Some said electric is the future. We said, why stop there? At Hyundai, we are going beyond mobility, and you are welcome to join us.
आपकी किचन और बाथरूम्स को चाहिए MY के लेटी क्रीट